Changing your oil is one of the most basic but most important things that you can learn how to do for your car. Whether you've never touched a spanner or you're a seasoned DIYer, this is a skill that anyone can master. So why change your oil? Your engine oil keeps all the moving parts inside your engine lubricated, protected, and running smoothly. Old oil means less protection, which means more wear and tear. A regular oil change keeps your engine healthy and saves you money down the line. Before you get your hands dirty, there are two things you're gonna need: brand new oil and a brand new filter. Different cars need different oils, so it depends on which make and model you have as to what oil you're going to be using. Not only will the oil change per vehicle, but you will need to check what kind of filter you're using. Some vehicles will use a spin-on style filter, or like this Corolla, it will use a cartridge style filter. There's a few different ways that you can find out what oil you're going to be using in your vehicle. The first is to check your owner's manual. You could also ask a mechanic or staff member at an auto parts store. If you want to do the research yourself, you can also jump onto Penrite's online tool, enter in your registration, and it will tell you exactly what oil you need. Let's quickly talk about the numbers on the oil and what do they even mean. On the oils, you'll have the first number and the second number. For this example, this is a 5W30, some will be 10W40. It'll completely depend on what kind of oil you're using as to what the numbers will be. The first number, the 5W, actually stands for winter. This is just an indicator as to how thick the oil is when the engine's cold. The second number is how thick the oil stays once the engine's at normal operating temperature. So just remember that the numbers are only an indicator for the viscosity or thickness of the oil. Let's jack up the car and get started. Jack up your car using the correct lifting points, usually behind the front wheels or in the center near the front and rear. Then always use jack stands to secure it. Never get under a car supported only by a jack. Before we jump underneath the car, we want to remove the oil filler cap. This will just allow the oil to drain more freely. Now slide under the car with your drain pan and position it underneath your oil drain plug. Grab a socket and work out what size you're going to need for your drain plug. Some common sizes are 14mm, 17mm, or 19mm. Use a ratchet to loosen the drain plug and finish unscrewing by hand. Let the oil fully drain until it slows to a drip. Next, we want to remove the old oil filter. If you're using a spin-on style filter, use the oil filter pliers to crack it loose and spin it off by hand. If you have a cartridge style filter, you want to crack the outside of the housing until oil starts to come out, remove the housing cover, and remove the cartridge filter from inside the housing. Expect a little bit more oil to come out when removing these filters, that's normal. Grab your new filter, remove the plastic film, and screw it on by hand. No tools needed, you just need to make it snug. If you're using a cartridge filter like the filter we have, you will also need to replace the O-ring of the cartridge housing, but that's done very easily with a small pick. As a pro tip, when you're changing a spin-on oil filter, you can write the date with a permanent marker so you know exactly when you changed it last, just at a glance. As well, with a cartridge filter, when replacing the O-ring, it's always a good idea to use some new oil to lubricate the O-ring so when you tighten it into the housing, it doesn't tear. Now it's time to reinstall your old drain plug. Grab a rag, clean up the area, and make sure there's no excess oil, just to make this as neat as possible. If you have a torque wrench, we want to torque this down to around 25 to 30 Newton meters. If you want to find specifics, jump back into your owner's manual. It should be listed there. If you don't have a torque wrench, it's not a big deal. Just make sure to tighten the drain plug back to around how tight it was when you took it out. Now that that's all done, we want to jump back up to the top of the engine, grab a funnel, and fill this up with oil. The amount of oil you're going to need is going to depend on your vehicle, so check your owner's manual or jump back online to see if you can find that information. Once the engine's full of oil, you want to jump back underneath the car, check the drain plug and your filter just to make sure there's no leaks. If everything looks good, remove the jack stands, lower the car, and you're done. You've just changed your oil. Remember, oil changes are part of your vehicle's regular maintenance, so check your manual for how often to do it and you'll be good to go. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave us a comment below.